Hello, anyone not still living in the 1970s? We interrupt your day to bring you this announcement. Husker Ninja is in the building. Alright guys, we are here today with episode number 17 of the Akron Zips Dynasty here on NCAA 14. And today it is time for the Season 1 off-season. First we'll start by recapping Season 1, then we'll get into the off-season. So let's go ahead and hop to the Season 1 recap. Alright, so we went 7-5 in the first season of the Dynasty. Did not make a bowl game with a 7-5 record because we were only 4-5 in MAC play. But we opened up with a 38-10 win at home over Arkansas State, who had finished 1-11. And we had a bye week, week number 2, and then we needed a last-minute drive down the field with no timeouts by our backup QB, redshirt freshman Alex Ramert, to get the game into overtime, and then in overtime we somehow managed to beat Rutgers on the road. The Scarlet Knights did only finish 3-9, but that was a game, honestly, we should have lost. Somehow we managed to win it. Then we lost the conference opener at home to Buffalo 17-19, and then we beat Bowling Green in week number 5 for our third win of the year, 21-18. We nearly blew a fourth quarter lead before Bowling Green missed a last-second field goal try, so that was another game we could have easily lost. And we got shellacked by Ohio 38-6. We needed a massive second half comeback. I think it was like 17, 20 points, something like that, against Northern Illinois in week number 7 to win that one. So, was our 3 of our 4 wins to this point all could have easily been losses. So we could easily be 1-6 at this point. Instead, we are 4-3. Then we beat Kent State 23-14 in the battle for the wagon wheel after another bye week in week 9. And then week 11, we moved on to Illinois. The Illini finished 3-9, but we beat them 31-24. That was another game that could have gone either way. It really kind of turned on a pick 6 just before halftime. So that game also could have gone either way. Then we got hammered by Eastern Michigan 40-14. Beat Central Michigan 38-21. Had like a 31-0 lead. And then tried to give it away in the fourth quarter before finally sealing the game. And then we lost to Toledo. So, yeah, we could have easily won, maybe 3-9? We could have easily been 3-9. Instead, we went 7-5. So, I would say we kind of overachieved record-wise based on close games and really how things could have ended up. So next we will do, I guess, bowl results will be what we'll show next, and then we'll get into some award winners and stats. Alrighty, so here we are with the bowl results. Obviously, you know how the Rose Bowl ended up, that 5 overtime thriller, which Utah took down Ohio State. Then you know the result of the national title game. Clemson really hammered Oklahoma in the second half to run away with an easy one. So for this, I'm just going to scroll through the list. I'm going to stop and really emphasize the MAC games, I suppose. But other than that, just pause if you see your favorite team or something on here, I guess. Because I'm only stopping for the MAC teams, basically. So you can see Northern Illinois does beat Fresno State 21-10 in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. The Huskies finished 8-5 on the year. Good season for them. Ohio does beat Army 28-16 in the Military Bowl. The Bobcats finished 9-4. Also, Temple edges out Miami, Ohio in the Little Caesars Pizza Bowl 31-29. And Eastern Michigan hammers Texas State 38-7 in the GoDaddy.com Bowl. So the Eagles finished the year 10-3. They had a great season. Next, we will do the award winners for you, and so I will see you for that. Right, so you have Trevor Lawrence winning the Maxwell, Divine Ozigbo. A little bit of Nebraska pride out there. Ozigbo finishing second in that. And then you have the Walter Camp going to Quadrays Wadley of UTEP. ATN finishing second, Ozigbo third, Lawrence fourth. So a bunch of familiar names there for the Walter Camp. Khalil Brooks wins the Bednarik from Middle Tennessee State. Rock Ya-Sin from Temple, the runner-up in that award. Then the Nagurski will go also to Khalil Brooks, so he wins both the Bednarik and Nagurski awards. The junior having himself a nice award season. Lawrence wins the O'Brien ahead of Nate Stanley from Iowa and Khalil Tate from Arizona. The Walker goes to Wadley ahead of ATN and Ozigbo. And then the Blitnikoff goes to Rondale Moore from Purdue ahead of Easley from Iowa and T. Higgins, who had himself a nice game in the national title. Kahale Waring from San Diego State takes home the Mackey Award. TJ Hawkinson, shout out to Octagonal Gaming, your tight end at Detroit in real life. He finishes second here. The Outland Award goes to Dalton Risner from Kansas State. 4 Iowa offensive linemen in the top 6 of that award. Then Keegan Render wins the Dave Remington Award, so a Hawkeye takes home the Remington. The Lombardi goes to D'Angelo Malone from Western Kentucky. And the best linebacker, Khalil Brooks, with his 3rd award of the season. We'll have to see if he declares or comes back as a senior. But Brooks wins best linebacker, and then the Bednarik and Nagurski awards as well, so a very successful year for him. Rock Ya-Sin takes home the Thorpe Award. The senior from Temple, having himself a nice year, takes home the Thorpe. And the Groves Award goes to B.T. Potter from Clemson. Just to see, I don't think our kicker didn't finish it, even though I don't think he missed a field goal all year. But he does not finish there. And Colton Rastetter takes home the Guy Award. The junior from Iowa winning the punting award right there. And B.J. Daniels from UTSA will take home the Best Returner Award. Eric Lee Jr. from Nebraska finishing 7th there. So next, it'll be time to look at the season stats. Right, so season stats for our team: Nelson with a 98.7 QB rating, 136 of 322, 1,862 yards. He had 15 touchdowns and 28 picks. Rammert had 1 touchdown and 6 picks as the backup. So neither one of them really having a great year. And so quarterback play, definitely hoping we can see some improvement from that in the offseason. Nelson completes 52% of his passes. Rammert completes 47%. Rushing wise, Van Edwards, 310 carries for 1,600 yards even, averaged 5 yards a carry with 13 touchdowns. Nelson chipped in another 197 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Interestingly enough, both of his rushing touchdowns came in the win against Bowling Green. Nelson also had 4 fumbles. Edwards only had 2 all season. They both came toward the end of the year. And receiving wise, Nate Stewart leads with 64 catches for 726 yards and 6 touchdowns. Andre Williams. Our receiving core is young. Each of our top 3 receivers are sophomores, so they still have a couple years to grow. But Andre Williams had 34 catches for 359 and 2 touchdowns. Newman Williams, the senior tight end, 31 for 376 and 3 scores. Dustin Burkhart, the third sophomore receiver, he has 23 for 307 and a single touchdown. And Quadarius Smith, he's a senior. He finished with 21 catches, 209 yards, 3 scores. And Edwards Jr. chipped in another 130 and a touchdown on 20 receptions as well. But drops, we had our fair share of them. Stewart had 14. Andre Williams had 12. Smith had 10. Burkhart had 9. So our fair share of drops for sure, I would say. Defensively, Trevor Brown had 11 pancakes. No lineman allowed more than 5 sacks. So an okay year for the offensive line, I suppose. Jordan George leads in tackles with 66. Brian Bell, a senior middle linebacker, we will miss him. He had 58. Alvin Davis also had 58. Denzel Butler, 52. Ulysses Gilbert III had 44. John Lako, he's a junior. We are excited to have him back for a senior year. He had some pretty big plays down the stretch, but he had 41. And Kyron Brown, 34. Zaire Jacobs, 32. 31 for Josh Ward. He's also a junior. He'll be back next year. Was one of our highest rated overall players as well. So it'll be good to have him back for one last go around. Looking at tackles for loss, you can see Ward had 22 to lead the team, 17 apiece for Jamal Davis. He's a senior, so he's gone, and Brian Bell. So 2 seniors, both with 17, to finish tied for second in tackles for loss. Lako had 14. Brock Boxon, another senior, had 13. And then Gilbert, a 4th senior, with 10. George, also a senior, he had 7. Davis had 7. Denzel Butler had 7. Zaire Jacobs had 5. And then sacks, we had quite a few sacks, but they were all pretty evenly balanced, I would say. Ward had 6, 4 apiece for Boxon and Lako and Bell. And Brennan Williams, I believe he was also a senior. He only had 9 tackles, but 3 of them were sacks, 4 of them were for loss. Gilbert had 3 sacks, 2 apiece for George, Zaire Jacobs, Butler. Brady had a sack. It was his only tackle of the year. Davis had a sack. So all considered, we had 13, 17, 28 sacks, I think, as a team. Something like that. Somewhere around 28 sacks. Well, maybe a little bit more. I think it was more like 32, actually. I forgot one of the 4s. Interceptions, we had a few picks. Davis had 3. Zaire Jacobs had 2. And then Kyron Brown, Denzel Butler, Bell, and Lako each had 1. So we had a total of 9 picks on the year. Obviously could be better, but could also be worse. So not too much to complain about on that end, I suppose. Deflections, we had a few of them. We had several deflections, so okay in pass coverage. We had 2 forced fumbles from Brian Bell and 1 apiece from Gilbert, Ward, and Butler. So 5 forced fumbles total on the year. I don't think we recovered most of those, actually. Maybe only we only recovered 2 of the 5 forced fumbles. 1 went from Davis, 1 from Kyron Brown. So pretty good for them. If you want to look at defensive touchdowns, we had 1 apiece from Lako and Davis. And safety-wise, Josh Ward had the only safety of the year. So kicking-wise, we actually had Tom O'Leary went a perfect 12 for 12. He finished with a perfection as far as Field goal percentage goes, he had a long 49, but he's a senior, so he's going to be gone. Our punter, Nick Gasser, also a senior. He had 926 yards on 21 punts, an average of 44 yards a punt. No kick return touchdowns. We had 600 return yards from Edwards and Smith, and 310 punt return yards for Smith. So all things considered, not a terrible year for our guys. But with that said, it is officially time to get into the off season, and so I will see you guys there. So here we go, taking a look at some coach changes around the country. Wilcox is out at Cal. He's replaced by Tony Elliott. So the Bears will have a new head man. Jim McElwain is out at Central Michigan. So, hey, that's big news for the MAC. Randy Shannon is a new head man at Mount Pleasant over there for the Chippewas. Cutcliffe fired at Duke. And Steve Sarkisian is hired as his replacement. That's interesting. Greg Madison, the new coach at Hawaii after Nick Rolovich is fired. Paul Petrino out at Idaho, replaced by Mike Cox. Frank Solich leaving Ohio. He is going to replace Lovie Smith at Illinois. So RMP, we might have to play Illinois again, get a return visit to Champaign to face the Fighting Illini and Frank Solich, of course, the former Nebraska coach. And he stomped us last year at Ohio, so that'll be something to keep an eye on. Mark Stoops out at Kentucky, replaced by Rick Stockstill. I believe he was the former head man at Middle Tennessee State. Sitake out at BYU, replaced by Gary Anderson. This is Oregon State, BYU, or not BYU, Utah State before that. Mark Stoops, he lands at UMass as the head coach after being fired from Kentucky, so he does get another chance. But the Minutemen are pretty terrible. Davies out at New Mexico, replaced by Bryant Vincent. Blumgren is out at Rice. Elsewhere, Narduzzi fired at Pick, replaced by Thomas Hammock. South Alabama fires Campbell, replaces him with Aaron Keene. Todd Grantham replacing Justin Fuente, who's out at Virginia Tech. So some pretty big names going on here. Edsel's out at UConn, replaced by Albin. Kleiman's contract expires, but Brent Venables. So that's a big move there for Kansas State. Northern Illinois, Hammock, he's in at Pittsburgh, so in comes Jeff Horton for NIU. And Chris Creighton from Eastern Michigan joined a move to Ohio to replace Frank Solich. So Tony Franklin, new head coach at UTEP and Texas State. It was Anderson. Anderson was just at Utah State. Lane Kiffin leaving for a new job, probably Power 5 coordinator job somewhere. But now we're going to just look at the MAC, see how those coach changes shook up. So we give extensions to both our coordinators, Zagorski and Matt Feeney. Ball State gives extensions to all three of their guys, so they're still around. Bowling Green, all three of their guys get an extension, of course. Buffalo gets a new defensive coordinator, but their head coach, offensive coordinator remains. Central Michigan, obviously cleaning house. So they got three new guys there. Lane Kiffin is the head coach at Eastern Michigan? What? Lane Kiffin is in the MAC. The Lane train is in Ypsilanti. That'll be interesting to keep an eye on. Lane Kiffin, the Lane train coming to the MAC, huh? Makes our job more difficult, I guess. Man. And Eastern Michigan also with new coordinators. Kent State fires their defensive coordinator and their offensive coordinator. Their head coach still around, though. An extension for the head coach and coordinators at Miami, Ohio. Obviously, we saw Northern Illinois. They've got a new offensive coordinator and head coach, but their defensive coordinator's still there. And as you know, Creighton's now in at Ohio after leaving Eastern Michigan, winning the MAC, and leaving Eastern Michigan after winning the bowl game. Ohio also with new coordinators. Toledo with a new defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator. And then Western Michigan with extensions for the offensive coordinator and head coach, but a new defensive coordinator. Alright, so Van Edwards Jr. does indeed go pro. He's a 4th round draft pick. So our first draft pick of the series is Van Edwards Jr. He definitely deserved it. He had a great year for us. So now I'm going to just show MAC teams as well as like Nebraska, Clemson. I also want to check Michigan State, Middle Tennessee State, see if that guy left, the 3 award winner, or if he's still around. Buffalo has Anthony Johnson in the 1st round and Khalil Hodge in the 4th round. So Buffalo, good to see 2 of their guys going. Not going to miss them at all. And we have no transfer requests, so we're just going to move ahead to recruiting because it needs some work. So right now you can see heading in, we have the worst recruiting class in the entire country. We only have 3 commits. The recruiting class not looking too great, and we got 10,000 points to spend, so we got to figure out which difference makers we want to put it on. Real quick, let's recap our 3 commits. We lost out on our punter, so Terrell Madsen probably going to handle both duties. The Springfield, Ohio native staying in his home state. He's going to be a 4-year starter for us. I think he'll be a pretty good kicker at that. Jovan Washington from Bristol, Pennsylvania. He's a nice tackle prospect we picked up. He does want playing time. Don't necessarily know if we'll be able to give it to him, at least year 1, but we'll see about Jovan Washington. James Dawson from Van Wert, Ohio. He's the one we're really excited about. He's one of our key guys. We lost out on another one earlier. I forget his name off the top of my head. But I have it written down somewhere. I have all this stuff written down to identify the key recruiting misses. And yeah, James Dawson, we lost a few corners, so he's almost certainly going to be playing 4 years starter. I don't know, unless they really make some crazy changes. And he says he doesn't care about playing time, so we may decide to redshirt him if we see some crazy jumps. But again, wouldn't really expect that. He's probably going to be a 4-year starter for us. So looking at what we have left, we got Douglas Williams, a defensive tackle from Grand Haven, Michigan. He's got to be a top target, but overcoming Wisconsin is going to be a tough sell for us. Don't know if we can do it. We may try though. So Douglas Williams would definitely be a top target for us. Arthur McClellan from Mansfield, Ohio. Obviously, we want to try and keep some of the best guys in state. And he would certainly fit the bill. We're only 30 behind him, so I think we can make a move and hopefully jump over Toledo. We also have Jared Harris from Pequot, Ohio. He's another guard. He's someone I definitely would also like to have. You can never be too conservative with the offensive line, and we're gaining ground on Texas Tech as well. So Harris, McClellan, definitely 2 of the top guys we're looking at. There's also John Washington from Crab Orchard, West Virginia. Don't really know how excited about him I am. He's just a body, and you can see Marshall's making some ground, so it might be tough to really beat him out. We may throw some points on him though, just in case. Then really the only other guy I'm super interested in right now, Jerome Anthony from St. Mary's, Ohio. We need linebacker help. Lost a couple linebackers, going to lose a couple more. We are gaining some ground on him, but that may be a tough sell to make, actually. Utah pretty well in ahead. Don't really know if we have a good chance to get him. So we may cut our losses with him. So I think McClellan, Harris, and Williams. See, this is tough because we only got 10,000 points, right? So, I really want Douglas Williams, but I don't think we're super feasibly going to get him. So yeah, I'm going to look through this and decide. Probably going to put the most points on McClellan, but I'm going to decide where to put points, and I will show you once I am done with that. Alright, so I'm back. The decision has been made. Douglas Williams, we're basically going to give up on him. We're 800 points down, still dropping. We would need to put a ton of points to have a chance to get him. So I'm going to keep 5 on him just in case, crazier things have happened. We're going to go all in on Arthur McClelland and Jared Harris. They're both 5K for Jared Harris, 49.40 for Harris, 5K even for McClelland. And then I went through and put 5 points on basically everyone else. I thought there was even sort of an outside chance at getting, just in case. There are some guys who didn't really have any offers, so put 5 points on him. Maybe that'll be enough for him to commit. Maybe it won't. But, yeah, I'm going to be really upset if I lose out on McClellan or Harris by 5 points or 10 points or something. But the decisions have been made. Recruiting is done. We are going to lock it in and advance to signing day. And so I will see you for then. Think happy thoughts, everybody. So we actually jumped from 126 all the way up to 66. Maybe we had better luck with the offseason recruiting than I thought. We really got to check things out to see how things shook up then. Jared Jones, JUCO punter, doesn't commit either, but we get fullback James Burnett from Alliance, Ohio. Buffalo. We needed a fullback, so Buffalo didn't even really try to get him, and so I'm going to thank Buffalo for that. I will take James Burnett. We needed a fullback. He's going to be a 4-year starter there. We got Dan Dingle as well. No one else really tried to get him. Robbie Cook we got. We do get an outside linebacker, at least. That's big for us. Cincinnati was way ahead on him, too. I didn't put any points on him because Cincinnati was way ahead. But they drop all the way down 7,000. Wonder what happened there. Maybe they ran out of scholarships or something. Corey Pollock, a middle linebacker. What's the 60 overall doing going to Ohio State? Really, Ohio State? More power to you, I guess. Jason Bolden, a quarterback, going to Northwestern. We didn't really have much of an eye on him. We get Edmund Morris, a defensive end from Clinton, Michigan. Didn't even really try to get him. Scott Terrell from Horsham, Pennsylvania, a running back. We get him. We miss out on John Washington. He does go to Kansas State. So John Washington, miss out on him, but we got the 2 guys we wanted the most. Arthur McClellan signs on the dotted line. We beat out Toledo by 3,000 to get him. That is a huge pickup for us. We beat Jared Harris. We beat out Texas Tech by 2,000. So that was about 5,000 points we could have had. James Mathis, free safety, commits to Bowling Green, so we're going to play him in years to come. He's someone to keep an eye on. Brandon Ball commits to Kent State, our rival from Toledo, so he's going to Kent State. Douglas Williams, we did... Oh man, we only lost out by 2,900. I could have taken 1,500 off of both guards, and I could have gotten Williams too. That sucks. Oh, well, you live and you learn. What if I had taken those points, put them on Williams, and ended up not getting any of those three, you know? We got the two guards. We got two out of our top three. I can't complain about that. And you're going up against a Big Ten team in Wisconsin there, you know? Hindsight, it's 2020. You think, man, I could have gotten all three of them. But, you know, better safe than sorry. And we do get the two guards we really, really wanted. So, I can't complain too much. Douglas Williams going to Wisconsin. We'll certainly keep an eye on how his career unfolds. Todd Rouse commits to another conference rival. He goes to Miami, Ohio to become a Warhawk. We're going to have to face him multiple times a year. Isn't that great? James Burton, defensive tackle, commits to Georgia. Jerome Anthony commits to Utah. Wasn't going to put any points on him. John Moore, John Moore didn't really have much of a shot to get him. He was going to Cincinnati all the way. And so then, of course, we get Dawson, Washington, and Madsen. So all things considered, that was not a terrible recruiting class for Season 1. It could have been much, much worse. So now we're going to move on to position changes because Lord knows we need to do those. Oh, hold up. We need centers, yo. Bryce Peterson sucks. He's a junior, only a 68. That's not going to do it for me, my guy. You know what? We just signed Arthur McClellan, but we're going to move him to center because 68 overall, junior, that's not it, my guy. So McClellan going to move to center, hopefully solidify the middle. And then Hunter Korn, we will move over to right guard from left to right. He's going to start. That leaves up Harris to be a 4-year starter along the offensive line as well. He's going to start day one as a left guard. But at right guard, we will have Hunter Korn. Who is this man? Reggie Sanders, a JUCO, a strong safety from Twinsburg, Ohio. He's an 82 overall. I do not remember recruiting this guy, but I am going to take him. Shoot, that was good, Mike. You're good, man. You can be a 2-year starter for us. Not going to complain about that in the slightest. So now it is time for training results, and you can see Cato Nelson goes up 4 to an 83. Alex Rammert going up 6. He's not as fast as Nelson. Maybe that was part of the problem with Cato Nelson last year, was I just did not run with him enough. But the one thing I really want to look up, what's the throwing? Nelson has much better carrying. Okay, where's the throw power? Man, Alex Rammert has much better throw power than I thought he did. His accuracy is only slightly worse than Cato Nelson. We might have a good old-fashioned quarterback battle. Wow. Alex Rammert, 89 throw power, so much better than what Cato Nelson's at. Nelson, I hate to say it, but really the only reason you're higher than him is you got almost 20 points better awareness, but awareness doesn't matter during played games. So Alex Rammert may be the move for Season 2. Neither one of them played particularly well, so I may hold a practice, see who looks better in practice. Do a fun little preseason video with that, I guess. Running back, it is a sorry state. You got Deltron Sands. He was 77 overall. Senior Keandre White up to a 75. I mean, none of these guys really look that good, to be completely honest with you. You got Turf, a redshirt senior, yeah, he's not going to do much either. Jamarulin Suggs, the fourth quarterback. He's from Akron, though, the fourth running back. He's a hometown guy. But Keandre White, I mean, Sands was okay in the few touches he got. Can I see his stats real quick? Okay, so Sands did average 5.2 yards a carry on only on 11 carries though. Is there really much difference? Yeah, we're gonna have to have some practice. We got some tough decision to make. Do we just roll with the redshirt freshman right now, bypass him in favor of the senior? I think honestly the more likely move may be sort of a running back by committee approach. White's got better carrying too though. He can't catch as well. That's where Sands stands out. So yeah, we may definitely have to hold a practice for this because Keandre White and Delton Sands, I mean, yikes. Fullback Nate Stewart goes up 4 to an 80. He's a junior. Would be what, 84, 85 as a senior maybe. Alright, I'm liking what I'm seeing there. Yo, he's not fast though. Andre Williams does go up 5 to a 78. Yeah, alright. Dustin Burkhart, also a junior, he goes up 4 to a 74. So our receiving core is looking okay, I guess. Deshaun Brimage, a redshirt freshman, goes up 4 as well. He's being held back by awareness. MJ McGriff. So we may need to have a battle between him and Burkhart for the wide receiver 3 spots, for the sort of slot guy. Let's see how good they look catching. Alright, so Stewart's the best catcher, Williams, then Burkhart, and Brimage is actually only 72. So maybe Brimage will just be a wide receiver 4 because it's looking like Burkhart's got better. Yeah, Burkhart's got better catching across the board. And Burkhart did play pretty well last year. Like I do remember being pretty impressed by him. So yeah, Brimage looks like he's a year away. He'll be wide receiver 4 though, so I'm not too concerned. So yeah, wide receivers, they're set in stone. It'll be Stewart, Williams, Burkhart, and hopefully the quarterback throwing them the ball can get them the ball more, especially with running backs not looking too great. Maverick Wolfley goes up 4 to a 76. He's a receiving guy. So is Brandon Junk. He's a senior though, so who can catch better? Newman Williams was pretty reliable. Yeah, so it looks like Wolfley's the better catcher. So Wolfley is going to get the first crack at it. If he underperforms, we know Junk. He could be waiting to take over. Left tackle. Oh, we got to sort by overall. Whoops. What the? Alright. Left tackle Trevor Brown goes up 5 to an 82. That's what we like to see. +4 boost for the 2 backups. Eric Bentley up 5 to a 68. But remember, we got our freshman coming in to hold down the fort. Bryce Peterson does jump up a bit admirably, I must admit. He goes up 6 to a 74. But McClellan's going to hold down that spot. He's still 4 overall higher as a freshman. And so he's going to hold down that spot. Hunter Corn, that's what I like to see, going up 6 to a 76. Woo. Redshirt sophomore. Alright, I like to see that. Still got 3 years of improvement to go. And Council goes up 4 to a 78. So the offensive line is not looking too bad, actually. And Josh Ward goes up 3 to an 86. Ooh, Josh Ward hoping to have a big senior campaign. Meeks is a junior. He goes up 5 to a 73. Defensive or right end, you got Justin Sampson. He's up 5 to a 75. Andy John Baptiste up 5 to a 73. Devontae Jess is going to be a senior. He goes up 6 to a 75. Matt Hansen, redshirt sophomore, up 5 to a 74. DeAndre Brimage. Wasn't this man a wide receiver, DeAndre Brimage? I say the redshirt sophomore, he's up 5 to 73. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to have some open preseason stuff with what's going to be a lot of new faces. Lako goes up 4 to an 86. That is what I like to see. James King, another senior, goes up 5 to a 79. Zach Delorio, redshirt freshman, up 4 to a 68. Not going to complain with that. Bubba Arslanian, like that name. The redshirt sophomore, though, goes up 5 to a 75. And Yusef Barakat going up 5 to a 74. He's a senior, though. He's a hometown kid. DeMarcus Glover, the junior, going up 4 to a 75. So we got one really good linebacker and then some not. Denzel Butler, that's what I like to see. Butler gets a +6 boost to an 80. Zaire Jacobs is a junior. He goes up 4 to a 72. So he's going to be CB3, and we can slot our main man in at CB2. That is what I am liking to see. Elsewhere, you have Riley up 3 to a 70. He's a redshirt sophomore. So is Jeffrey Lubin. Let's sort by coverage. Who got good coverage on this team? Does anyone have good coverage? Catching, they're okay. Pretty good jumping for Butler, actually. He's 83. 99 play rec for Riley? What? Okay, Jordan, I see you. Oh, that's 99 pursuit, not play rec. Never mind. Man coverage, 85 for Butler, 80 for Jacobs. 90 zone for Butler? Alright, 83 for Zaire Jacobs. Press, he's okay. So Butler looking okay. He is looking okay this year. Alvin Davis up 4. He's an 88. This is going to be light work. Man, Alvin Davis had 99 awareness. This man is going to be the anchor of this defense this year. I hope he has a breakout senior campaign. I liked what he did last year. So we got one more go around with him. Jalen Hooks, redshirt freshman, going to be waiting in the wings, obviously. Tyler Gilchrist going up 4 to a 74, but we have DeJuco coming in. So, yeah, training results overall pretty encouraging. Next, I don't think we'll make any moves for the conference, but we may mess around with giving permanent crossovers, I guess. We'll take a look at that. So here is a look at our schedule for Season 2. We're going to open at home against Idaho. And then I said we were going to play Illinois again. RMP, you get your wish. We're playing at Illinois, the return game of the home game. They played with us last year to see Chris Creighton. They stomped us at Eastern Michigan last year, and so we want to try and return the favor. That's the only reason they're back on the schedule is because Creighton is now in at Illinois, and we want to beat him. Then, for our other Power 5 team, we're going to play at Arkansas, traveling to SEC country. Arkansas could be a little bit of a bloodbath, honestly. Like, I know the Razorbacks aren't good, but they're still an SEC team. Illinois is at Illinois, so it's going to be harder. And so I'm not sold on Illinois either. Idaho is going to be kind of the tune-up game, and then we're going to end non-conference play at home against UMass. And then we're going to have a bye week before we get into conference play. We're playing at Eastern Michigan again? Why? Why are we playing at Eastern Michigan again? That's dumb. And we're going to end with home games against Kent State and Bowling Green. So yeah, that'll be the schedule for Season 2. Now I'll show you red shirts once I'm done with those. Alright, so looking at red shirts, we did redshirt Gaither. He was not someone we recruited, but he's going to stick around because he's actually not too bad. He's a freshman. Let him develop a little bit. And then you have Terrell getting the red shirt among the running backs. At receiver, like I said, we redshirted Price. He may or may not stick around on the roster, but can't hurt to redshirt him this year. Dingle gets the red shirt at tight end. Didn't really redshirt anyone along the offensive line except for at left tackle. Or not left tackle, right tackle. We will redshirt Jovan Washington, hoping he does not try to transfer, but he's someone that I feel would be best redshirt. And then we are going to redshirt Meeks, the junior. Josh Ward is a senior, and so just keep him around for an extra year as we try to build up the defensive ends a little bit. We're going to redshirt Morris at defensive tackle. And left outside linebacker couldn't redshirt anyone, so we'll redshirt Mitchell and Cook. The other linebacker spots, no redshirt at cornerback. Dawson's going to be a 4-year starter. We redshirt Griffin, the junior, and we redshirt Hamilton, the freshman strong safety. And so that is going to do it for me for this episode. We got to the offseason. I hope you're excited for season 2. I'm going to play around with practice mode a little bit, do something, maybe also do like sort of a meet the team to show the starters. I don't really know. But yeah, I'm going to have that in a preseason episode. And we are going to also show you the recruiting board for ahead of the season 1 matchup. So that'll be the next episode. But yeah, that'll do it for me for today, and I will see you guys next time.